Hello, and welcome to the Mid-Ohio Valley Public Forum video podcast. I'm Jennifer Bryant.
And I'm Kim Van Ryn.
And we're your co-hosts. The pandemic has changed life quite a bit in our country.
And this is an election year. One thing that's changed is that candidates can't campaign for office the way they normally would. We hope these video podcasts will help you to get better acquainted with the candidates and make a more informed choice at the polls.
However you found this podcast, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or our podcast platforms on Spotify or Google Cast or any of the other, we hope that you'll check out the other episodes. Election Day is just around the corner, and early voting starts in just a few days on the 21st of October and runs through the 31st. And then the last day to vote is November 3rd. We hope you'll go to the polls.
This evening, we're interviewing Eric Barber. Eric Barber is the incumbent Parkersburg City Council member for District 4. Welcome, Eric. We're glad you could join us this evening.
Well, good evening, and thanks for hosting this event for the general like you did the primary. This is a great resource, and I hope it continues in future election cycles.
Well, as Eric said, we spoke with him in the primary. We're going to link that interview down in the comments. But for folks who may have missed that, go ahead and give us a short introduction on who Eric Barber is and tell us why you're running for re-election.
Well, I'm the incumbent councilman. I've got nearly 4 years of service in, and there's some unfinished work I'd like to see completed. So that's why I ran for re-election, and I didn't see anyone that I thought could do a really good job on some of the things that were important to me. So yeah, that's why I decided to run again. So, you know, unfinished work, trying to continue some of the things that I've already started. And that's why I decided to run for re-election.
So Eric, you're currently representing District 4. Excuse me. Tell us a little bit about District 4. Where is it located? And also, what do you see as the three major, most important problems facing District 4 right now?
Well, District 4 is the disadvantaged neighborhood of Parkersburg, and it's probably, unfortunately for the residents, the epicenter of crime and lawlessness in the entire Ohio Valley. I think you'd have to go as far as somewhere like Huntington to find a more distressed area as far as crime, drugs, lawlessness, just, you know, that, and that's unfortunate that is the case for Parkersburg. At one of the, you know, the most dangerous place to live is, you know, District 4. So, you know, it's got some really good people that live in it, but then there's also some, you know, some less desirable things that are going on. So that's kind of District 4.
And what do you see as the three major problems in District 4? You've mentioned crime.
Yeah, crime would be probably first and second. Blight, and I think they go together. I think where you find blight, you'll find crime. And if you can remove blight and add some value to the homes and incentivize rehabbing, refurbishing of some of these homes that are savable still, I think that'll have an impact on crime. And, you know, reducing crime will help make that neighborhood a little bit more desirable for rehab and redevelopment. So, you know, they're 1 and 2. You know, drugs, that would be, you know, number 3, but they go with number 1 and 2. So, you know, it's the obvious: drugs, crime, and blight. That's District 4's major challenges.
Well, those issues aren't contained within the borders of District 4. So what are your plans to deal with them?
Well, that's been the million-dollar question. So if anyone has the answer to how to eradicate crime and to restore law and order in our community, Man, I'd love to hear it. I've done everything I can as a councilman outside of executive ability. A legislator really can't. I can try to pass laws, and we have, and a couple of them have been, used recently, like the drug and nuisance, the gangs and prostitution home ordinance that was most recently used. We passed the what I call the Sanford and Son law, which meant no junk, no accumulating of just stuff. And I haven't seen that one used yet. So you're able to pass laws, you're able to do things, but without the executive ability, you don't really have any way to enforce some of your policies. So incentivizing police recruitment and retention, trying to raise the salaries of law enforcement in efforts to get more recruits, get more personnel. It's something we've done, but anytime someone has the real answer for how do you control human behavior, I'd can that and sell it to every municipality in America and probably become wealthy. So it's a difficult question. I like more law enforcement. I think would go a long ways. Curbing blight would help with crime. So that's kind of where I think that the whole city would be advantaged to have those things occur.
Mhm. So, Eric, voters don't often have the opportunity, especially this year with the pandemic, to get to know their candidates on a personal level as people rather than just candidates. So we'd
Right.
like to ask you a couple of questions about Eric Barber, the person, and
Yeah.
not Eric Barber, the candidate.
Okay.
What would you say you're most passionate about?
I mean, currently politics, unfortunately, and I look forward to the day to where I don't have to be as concerned or as passionate. Being immersed into this, and maybe you can even attest, it does have an impact on your mental health. Particularly the climate we are in today, nationally and in some ways locally. But motorsports, racing is what I've always done and always been involved in and cared a lot about. My family is certainly very important to me. I'm passionate about, raising and having the opportunity to bring up some good looking daughters and a beautiful wife and so forth and so on. But as far as racing goes, that's what I'm very passionate about. And I've got some great opportunities. I mean, I'm currently pit crewing for West Virginia's only, or probably America's only openly gay race car driver. So that's been really fun, and I'm looking forward to 2021, and hoping that he does really well and puts his name on the map, and I'll be around to see that. So that's what I care about as far as my personal life. I like motorsports and racing.
So what would you say are the qualities you most value in the people around you?
Loyalty being number one, and I don't respond well to disloyalty, and I value loyalty and commitment and some other things that are kind of personal characteristics, so very much. And having someone's word, a handshake agreement is important to me. That man has a character, or a woman can upheld, their word. So, but loyalty is extremely important to me. But forgiveness, and I've lacked that in a couple areas. But some of the people that I felt like were disloyal to me, in my immediate political life, over time, I forgive them and they forgive me. And I wish it was that easy with some other things, but yeah, those are the personal characteristics I look for in people that I'm around.
Well, what do you enjoy doing in your off time? It sounds like you probably don't have much of that.
No, and I look forward to having some off time in the future where I can focus. Like my young daughter has just started kindergarten and got a 6-month-old baby, and I bought a race car recently, and even some bought something to start a small business with. So that's what I look forward to doing in the near future when I have more free time. So.
Well, with that, we've come to the end. Now we'd like to give you a few minutes to tell us and the voters anything else you think we need to know, like how to find out more about your campaign or get in touch with you, donate, the yard sign, etc.
Well, you know, with Mayor Joyce being elected as mayor of Parkersburg, it was one of the first times a Republican has won mayor in Parkersburg, at least in the new era. I think he's one of 3 Republican mayors under the new charter system that, you know, we adopted many, many years ago. And then with me switching from Democrat to Republican, well, that gave executive and legislative control of the city government to Republicans and to conservatives. And I think that really is helping the city turn a corner. And I don't think that we need to look back. I think we need to maintain Republicans in the legislature of Parkersburg. And we need, obviously, to send Mayor Joyce back for a second term as executive. Myself, I will remain unapologetic conservative and a defender of the city against liberalism. I hope in the future that there's less of that. There will be no need for, you know, defending in the cultural war that's came to our city. And I hope that in the next term, as you said once, that we can focus on the things that really matter. And I truly expect that to be the case in the next term. So I'm looking forward to the election and the results, whether they're in my favor or not. I'd like to get this over with and done with, and we can move forward, whether as a member of elected government or as just an average citizen. Parkersburg has a lot of progress, and there's a lot of people who care about the city. You know, yourself and Kim, and a lot of people that I've gotten to know over the last 4 years. And if certain things and certain topics, certain issues were withdrawn or removed, I think that a certain amount of healing can occur, and we can all move forward and fix the real true problems of the city. So we'll see what happens. I've got a wonderful opponent. She's significantly far and above any other opponent I've ever faced in my life, and she has great qualities and good qualifications. And I think she'll do a good job if she defeats me. But it's important that a conservative majority remain on the Parkersburg legislature to contain any liberals that are elected to office. So I'm looking forward to the election results, one way or the other, and moving the city forward, whatever that means.
Well, Eric, we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us this evening, and wish you luck in your campaign. And everyone out there, stay safe, and remember, wash your hands.